What's good, fam? What's good? I.O.B.A. I'm TC. Um, yeah. So we still in the political climate. We still got a lot of politics to talk about for the election that's about to happen in what 18 months or whatever the fuck it is. And Kamala Harris, she's still out there. Joe Biden, his monkey ass is still out there. They calling him the front runner, but as soon as he get to flapping his lips and people do a little bit of digging into his past, I think that's gonna go away. It's the same old shit. But what I'm not hearing, what I'm still not hearing, is anybody talk about tangibles for black people. I'm still not hearing that. I'm still not hearing any candidate seriously going after that black vote. They trying to divide the black vote up and get the black women to vote for them because they think, that they seem to think anyway that they can win with just half of the black vote. And they get all the PWT. When I say PWT, I mean poor white trash. For people who don't quite understand what I mean, but anyway, they think they can win with half the black people and all the poor white people. I don't know. I don't think they can. But anyway, that's just me. I'm just a dude, in my little spot, talking to my microphone. But what I am concerned about, is the direction that the ADOS movement is being steered. I'm choosing my words carefully. Because those of us, or myself especially, I can't speak for anybody else, but I believe that the ADOS movement is necessary and vital, and really believe that the ideology of ADOS is, it's a long time coming. I mean, and it's a real thing. So when I hear the people that started the hashtag arguing with other big name people in the black media, that shit gets on my nerves. It's gonna wind up suppressing the movement. It's gonna wind up taking away the validity of the movement. It's gonna wind up, having people turn back to the way things were. It's gonna wind up validating everything that the black immigrants say about us, that we can't get our shit together even if we wanted to, that we too busy fighting each other and scratching for ego points or whatever. It's confirming all of that. That's not what we need to be talking about. To me, Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore don't even need to be arguing with these motherfuckers. I mean, not directly anyway. It's like, to me, sometimes when I get in a situation where somebody wants to debate me on some shit, first I do an evaluation of the individual who wants to debate me. I check out what their viewpoints are, and if it's just that standard run-of-the-mill bullshit that I've been hearing for decades and decades, well, then I don't even acknowledge them motherfuckers. A lot of people, I don't even really go into my comment section. I mean, people gonna say what they're gonna say, and like I say, I appreciate the support, and I want people to subscribe and hear what I gotta say. But I'm not gonna get in no argument with nobody over nothing, because what I say is my opinion, right? And what makes sense. American descendants of slavery is makes sense. You know what I mean? Asking for tangibles from people who want you to vote for them, that shit makes sense. That shit's important. That's what everybody does. That's why I never hear Professor Black Truth arguing with a motherfucker back and forth or any of that. To me, they way above the fray, and that's where Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore need to be. Now, Antonio Moore is one of the brightest young brothers I ever checked out on YouTube. And the numbers and the data that he puts out there is real. I know. I see it every day. That's why a lot of times I don't understand when motherfuckers come on YouTube, or I see them, you know, and they're talking about spending, you know, $500 on this and $300 on that. I don't understand how they can even suggest that people spend money on shit like that when most people don't even have, you know, can't even afford a $400 emergency. Most people can't even make it from one paycheck to the next paycheck, you know, and you know, that's the majority of black people. That's the majority of black people. So yeah, Antonio Moore's numbers, they speak truth. ADOS is about truth. Why argue with a bunch of people who want to just maintain the status quo? Arguing with people who ain't never been poor. Arguing with people who ain't never missed a meal. Arguing with people who ain't never got fired from a job just because. You know what I mean? I don't even argue with motherfuckers like that because I've been there. I've been out there in that blue collar workaday world where white people don't give a fuck about whether you live, die, eat, or starve. And that's the truth. So if Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell ever see this goddamn video, I really want them to understand, man. Take it from an old head. If you keep arguing with these motherfuckers and you keep goddamn going back and forth with them, you ain't gonna do nothing but kill the movement. And we're gonna be right back where we were 20 years ago. We're gonna be, you know, shit gonna stay the same. I mean, that's what every politician that I heard so far, with the exception of maybe Tulsi Gabbard, maybe, want to maintain the status quo. More war, tax cuts for the rich, and the Republican side, and you know, more money for social programs, but still war. Excuse me, still war and militarism on the Democratic side. The only one talking about something a little bit different is Tulsi Gabbard, and she talking about something that I really can get behind, but she's still not talking about tangibles for black people, and I haven't heard her say anything about reparations for American descendants of slaves. That would be the game changer. If she really wants to win and get, you know, be a serious candidate, to start talking that kind of shit. You know, you got niggas lining up behind Joe Biden. Get the fuck out of here. You know? And one more thing before I go. Look, we need, in this country as a whole, and especially for black people, seeing as how we get sicker and die sooner than everybody else. I mean, John Singleton, a rich black man, 51 years old, dropped dead from a stroke. You know what I mean? My man Bushwick Bill from the Ghetto Boys, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I know what that shit is. My nephew just died of that shit. We get sicker and we die sooner than everybody. Now, if those two well-to-do black people dying what you think the everyday black person is going through? So we need better health care. That is a necessity. That to me is a right. Health care should be a right, not a privilege, right? We got people in some of these southern states that you know got, you know, drinking bad water, eating bad food, living like they're living in these deplorable conditions. I've been there. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And then not to mention what's happening in cities like Detroit. They still don't have clean water. You think that Detroit is an isolated incident? It's not. It's not. If you were to take just the chlorine out of the water that's running through your faucet, look how motherfucking brown that shit gets from all the minerals and crap that's in there. I know because I'm running my irrigation system right now and it's turning the sidewalk brown. If you don't have a water softener or a water purification system in your house, that's what you're drinking. You see? Or unless you go, you know, spend money to buy purified water. But that kind of shit is these are the policies that we need to be addressing, and we have very few politicians talking about it, and these things affect black people directly. So in order for, so when I hear a YouTuber say something like, we can't be concerned about Medicare for all, we have to focus on, these dirty cops killing each other. Yes, we killing us, with impunity. Yes, we have to focus on that too. That's the next subject. When they say police reform, what type of reform are they talking about? Because these motherfuckers need to be held accountable every time. Every time. Our communities are over-policed. Every time, if you really want to get, tough on crime, start policing, the white communities. But you can't do that. Because the white people got, they'll be all up in your ass. They'll be all up down at the police station, suing you and shit. So in order to get their numbers up, they stack the motherfucking black community with goddamn cops. I'm gonna do a video on that. Why the black community seems to be so laden with crime. And I'll get on that later. I digress on that point. But the point I'm trying to make is we have to make sure that we hold our politicians accountable, and we cannot get behind anybody, and I mean anybody, that doesn't have that black agenda. And that black agenda is what I'm all about. So arguing with motherfuckers and talking about, who started the movement and who's real and who's this and who's that and nitpicking over these little talking points and issues, that ain't gonna do nothing but kill the movement. We can't do that. We can't allow that shit to happen. ADOS is bigger than anybody, than any one person, than any one individual. And with that, I'm gonna close out. Take my black ass on into work. TC, and I'm out.